It's your host, Uncle Nick. I'm the bipolar, biracial pastor, the motherfucking lone wolf, the black Italian stallion. Uncle Nick is here to do motherfucking work. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. The niggas, the bitches, the ladies, the gents, the rats, the cats, the motherfucking dogs, the babies, the aliens, the reptiles, the motherfucking reptilians. Ask them all how Uncle Nick gets down for the come up in a New York minute. Biatch, you know what I'm saying? Stop fucking playing with me. I'm Sicilian, but I'm not a square, you know what I mean? Bada bang, bada boom, 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 motherfucker.
That's why a lot of people don't fall into the category of meteorologists. I watched something today. It's a guy named, a blogger named Uncle Nick. And at first I started to get annoyed, like, man, what are you talking about? Like, but then he started to do proper journalism, a meteorologist, where he started to break down, Flip, your past, when you was doing that, you do that. Then I said, oh, I can respect that, because now his opinion is not based off of a personal opinion, it's based off of the facts that's presented. Of course, Flip, everybody ain't gonna play like that, cool, but you gotta remember, Flip, your past was, it put you there, and I listened to him like, I respect that. People will see something, and because of how you are, they will try to make up these theories. Any little thing will be like, yeah, man, get it, man. Like, yeah, man.
Now, shout out to the homeboy QueenzFlip, you know what I'm saying? Giving Uncle Nick his props and recognizing that I'm a fair person over here. I do what I'm supposed to do. I'm not picking sides. I'm not being emotional. This isn't personal. I just spit the facts, you know what I'm saying? Or I speak my truth, you know what I'm saying? And I try to be fair. That's the bottom line, you know what I mean? Now, I came across this video. QueenzFlip was online and he was having this discussion with a few individuals, you know what I mean? And they were all making their own points, you know what I'm saying? They had a healthy discussion, you know what I mean? And I felt like, why not expand on the conversation? Added my 2 cents, you know what I'm saying? And take this conversation out of the box, you know what I'm saying? And add a little more worldly perspective to it. And also hit the juxtaposition, be a little objective, and spit my truth. Tell people what the fuck I think about certain stuff, you know what I mean? But do it in a respectful way. I'm not trying to bastardize anybody. I'm not trying to put anybody down. I'm not trying to come for anybody's necks. You know what I mean? You know, I'm gonna be wilding out sometimes. You know, I'm trying to play fair nowadays, you know what I'm saying? Be a cool dude and get my message across so it's respected, accepted, and absorbed. You know what I mean? But enough of the blah, 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 blah. Let's get into this little video. I broke down a few clips, you know what I'm saying? I put some shit together, and I think I made some valid points. So without further ado, further delay.
Black on black crime is not a thing. People kill people that are in proximity to them. So if you're in an all-black neighborhood, it's likely you're going to kill a black person because you live around other black people. It's the same thing for white people. If you're a white person, it's more likely you're going to kill another white person. So that's what he's talking about. So this narrative, wait, let me finish. Let me land. The narrative of black on black crime is a narrative put out there to deflect from Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is about police brutality. Deflection is disrespect. And that's all Brett is saying.
Excuse me real quick. I just want to say one quick thing. I think exactly, you see how you think? That's your opinion. I respect it. I love you, sister. I think exactly the opposite. I think Black Lives Matter is something to deflect black on black crime.
Now I have to agree with the young man. I definitely think on my end that Black Lives Matter deflects from what's really going on, which is black on black violence. That's what's damaging the black community the most, you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna stop there, because I've been going to their website, checking shit out for the last few years, you know what I mean? I'm not just sitting on the sidelines popping shit without doing my fucking research, you know what I mean? Basically, what they got going on over there is more sinister. It's deeper than fucking police brutality. They're trying to indoctrinate society in the black community with this new set of rules, you know what I mean? And basically, they want the patriarch to get the fuck up out of here, you know what I'm saying? They don't want the fathers to be down with the mothers. They denounce the nuclear family, you know what I'm saying? And they want to fucking run around with transgenders and non-cis and all these different motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, weaving their way into your family structure, and they think this is gonna be more productive for the black community, which if you look at the stats, it's not, motherfucker, you know what I mean? If you go way back when to a certain period in America, the black unemployment rate for black teenagers, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't in the dumpster and shit like that. Motherfuckers was buying homes, people had decent fucking communities, kids were going to college, and people were growing up proper style, you know what I'm saying? But now here's the juxtaposition. You get the welfare state, Lyndon B. Johnson, all this other shit to pop off. Now all of a sudden, the women are kicking the men out of the fucking home so they can get welfare. Now these men are being put on child support, you know what I'm saying? Now these kids are growing up basically because the mother's popping shit all day. Fuck your father, fuck this, fuck that. He don't do shit. They're growing up with a hatred in their heart towards their father, and they basically go out in society and they reflect this towards other old heads, you know what I'm saying? So that's why you got the young heads against the old heads. This one don't want to listen to this one. Fuck the OGs. The OGs are misleading the fucking youth. It's a goddamn mess, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. But if you start to fucking pull the blinds back, you know what I mean, and fucking really peep what's going on, the problem is that you don't have fathers in these households, you know what I'm saying? And if you look at the statistics, households that are single family homes, the kids are 10 times more likely to get involved with drugs, with murder, with doing drugs, and all types of nefarious shit. I'm speaking for the males, you know what I'm saying? With the females, they get involved with that shit too, but they out here becoming prostitutes, they getting raped, all types of foul shit going on in their life, you know what I'm saying? Just because they don't have the proper family structure, which is the nuclear family. So if Black Lives Matter is sitting up here denouncing the fucking nuclear family, they don't want the fathers in home, you know what I'm saying? But the data proves otherwise. What are they really here to do for the black community? You can't trust the cops. You can't trust your father. You can't trust fucking anybody. Give us all your money and we're gonna change the fucking playing field. But where are the stats? Where's the proof? Where's anything that backs up that this fucking ideology or this way of looking at life or your philosophy actually fucking works? Is this shit applicable to society? You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna get fucking beautiful results from following this way of thinking? Negative.com. I beg to fucking differ. But anyhow, let's get into what the rest of this young lady has to say, and let's continue to break this down.
And Mr. Washington talked about the friends he grew up with and what happened to them.
Like I did talk about my 3 closest friends, and they did, 15 to 25, one did 28, this and that. I was the only one of the 3 that had a father in my life, even though my parents were together, but I still had a father who was a gentle man and a good example, and they didn't. We can blame the system if we want, but they didn't lock any of us up at 7.
Yeah.
We were all doing enough to get locked up at 13. My parents sent me in another direction. They didn't have anybody to help them, and they kept doing what they was doing.
Black on black crime is not really a thing. You're more likely to kill someone that looks like you based off of sheer proximity. So if you live in a black neighborhood, you're more likely to kill a black person. It's the same thing with white people. Look at the statistics. White people are more likely to kill white people, but nobody is saying white on white crime.
Denzel Washington is not a victocrat. He knows damn well why so many blacks are involved in the criminal justice system.
It was something I read where you talked about your people from Mount Vernon saying that, like they've done like 40 years in the penitentiary together. So, and incarceration rates in America has been a problem, especially as opposed to minorities. And Roman delves into the issues around the legal system. Do you think we've made any headway in the legal system?
I think it's more important to make headway in our own house. By the time the system comes into play, the damage is done. They're not locking up 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
I was in Chicago a couple of 3-4 weeks ago, and we saw these little kids on bikes with masks on the side of their head, like 5 or 6 of them. And the driver said, yeah, they're little yummies. I said, who? He said, little yummies. Look up, Google Lil Yummy. Lil Yummy was an 11-year-old murderer.
Wow.
And you look at his picture, you'll see the headshot of him, and he's like this. And he got murdered at 11 by a 14-year-old.
Wow.
Who's doing life now, and a 16-year-old.
That makes no sense.
You blame the system? Where was his father? It starts in the house. It starts in the home. And well, my father got locked up. Well, where was his father?
Yeah.
Now, this young lady seems to be triggered by her own beliefs and her own emotions, you know what I'm saying, which aren't necessarily based within statistical facts, you know what I mean? And she's using word semantics to push her narrative, you know what I'm saying, to get her point across. And it's not a knock against the young lady or anything like that. Do your thing, you know what I mean? More power to you. But at the end of the day, I'm here to spit the real, you know what I'm saying? So let's get into some statistics, some facts. Let's break it down. All right, so let's break this down. This data sheet right here is from 2019. Basically, 2019 murder offenders. You had 16,245. You know what I'm saying? Of those that were known, I guess, caught, prosecuted, whatever, 11,493. Now, of those 11,000 murder offenders, basically 6,425 were African American, black, you know what I'm saying? And that makes up about 56% of the known offenders, but we're dealing with only 13.5% of the population. You know what I'm saying? So that's bugged the fuck out right there. Less than 14% of the population is basically responsible for 56% of the known fucking murders. We don't see a fucking problem there. I don't know. But anyhow, let's keep it fair. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to shit on anybody, rain on anybody's parade, or bastardize anyone, or make anyone feel uncomfortable. Sometimes the truth, you know what I'm saying, it's a fucking hard pill to swallow, and we gotta start working from the inside out. We need fathers in the homes. We need the nuclear family. We need love, and we need prosperity for these kids. We need ownership. We need our communities to get better, and we need to raise these kids to be productive citizens. But anyhow, of those known offenders, basically 5,068 were non-black. So that could be white, that could be Latin, Samoan, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? But that makes up basically 44% of the known offenders, but we're gonna spread that out amongst basically 87% of the population in America. So hold on, what the fuck are we looking at right here? These numbers are off the hook, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get into my man, Larry Elder, because he's gonna expand on this a little bit more, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so let me tell you what I think now that you've spoken. There are two issues here. You mentioned black on black crime. You say that that's a problem. I agree with you that it's a problem.
It's a huge problem. A massive problem.
Larry, I agree with you.
One voice, gentlemen. One voice. Mark.
I agree with Larry Elder that black and black violence is an issue. I absolutely agree with him. So let's not argue about what we both agree on. I agree. But if this study bears out, and it does, that at least that every 28 hours an unarmed black person is killed, then that also is a problem. Is it as big a problem as this other issue?
That means it's less than 2% of the total, Lamont. Less than 2% of the total. 7,000 black people killed every year. Less than 2% are killed by police officers in an unarmed way. So why don't we talk about the 98%? And many of these murders in Chicago are unsolved. At least we know what happened in the Michael Brown case.
If you only want to claim blackness when you want to argue about using the word nigga, that shit doesn't work. How does that work? You gotta be black all the time. And I saw a young lady say, oh, so if I say I'm Dominican, that means I'm not black. If you claim Dominican first, then yeah, you're not black.
But
because when somebody asks me if I'm black,
ethnicity, you are.
But if somebody asks me, what I am, if somebody asks me what I am, I'm not. Well, you know, my grandmother is half Indian, and my father is no. I'm black. I'm a black woman. That's my experience.
Also what I see. You
DJ so lovely.
You can't tell me. You can have your opinion, but you can't tell me what to say, bro.
I'm not telling you what to say. I'm telling you what it is.
Like, it's what I tell you. People see life through their whole eyes.
So she feels in order to prove that you're black at the end of the day, you have to identify a particular way, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't, you know what I'm saying, your shit ain't valid. You can't use the N-word and all this extra shit, you know what I mean? And I find this to be just mad bizarre, you know what I'm saying? Because she's basically put all her thoughts and all her ideas into a fucking box, and she's not thinking out of the box. This is a big fucking world. There's a lot of black folks across the globe that don't even use the fucking N-word, you know what I'm saying? So your application within them scenarios would be totally void, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't make any sense. It wouldn't be applicable. You understand that? And I'm gonna take it a step further, you know what I'm saying? I'm black and Italian. I'm mulatto, baby. And a lot of people might not look at Sicilians as black, you know what I mean? But I beg to differ. If you look into our bloodline, you know what I'm saying, and you start to expand within that area, you'll fucking learn very quickly, and you'll start hitting the history books, and you'll know that the Moors went over there and impacted our fucking civilization, our society, our culture heavily, son. So if you dig into our bloodline, it's gonna go back to motherfucking Africa and all types of other places. You know what I'm saying? But you don't gotta believe me. I'm gonna get into a little article and something I found online, and maybe that'll break it down a little further for you. But then you got Africans that were born in Italy. I know them, you know what I'm saying? I met them. They came over here, they speak Italian fluently, you know what I'm saying? But they don't identify as African necessarily because they were born in Italy, you know what I'm saying? So they're Italian. That's how the fuck they grew up. That's what they identify as. That's their heritage, ethnicity, whatever the fuck, their culture. So are they not black enough? Is their experience, their contribution to black culture void? You know what I'm saying? Like what are we doing right here? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we gotta think out of the box. But let's get into this little article real quick. Do Italian and Sicilians have African blood in them? I'm from North Africa and I can clear things up for you. You know what I'm saying? I'd also like to add that I went to a Catholic school that was majority Italian, and my class had about 20 whites, 5 blacks, and 6 Spanish. Of the 20 whites, only 1 that I can remember was not Italian, whatever the fuck. The rest were either half Italian, Italians from Argentina, or full. I had a Sicilian teacher and Sicilians in my grade in school. Sicilians do have black ancestry. They don't look black like me or you, but they clearly are distinguishable from other whiter Europeans. I live in Canada, so people don't tan much either, especially in the winter. The typical Sicilian has the color of a light-skinned Mexican or Indian person, pitch black hair, and those have more African-looking facial features. They don't really look black, but their noses are more round and straight, and their lips are much more thicker than the typical brown-haired Italian. I don't know if all Italians are mixed, but ones from South Italy most definitely are. From a historical perspective, I can tell you the issue on Moors is not so clear-cut. See, the first wave of Africans to enter into Italy were those led by Hannibal and Jugurtha from North Africa. They invaded Italy, Spain, France, Portugal, etc. Like all wars back then, rape was common, so many people from Portugal, Spain, and South Italy and South France have black ancestry. However, there is a constant influx in these countries of people from the north moving south, so the white phenotype is much more common. Now, this was a long-ass video. I didn't expect it to be this lengthy, you know what I'm saying? But I felt if I was gonna interject, I had to do it proper style and lay everything out there. And there's still more things that I could have fucking expanded on, but I try to keep this as compact as I could, you know what I'm saying? Now, at the end of the day, everybody's gonna have their own belief system, their own ideas. There's nothing wrong with that. This is a free fucking country. Feel how you want to feel, you know what I mean? But I've been noticing over the course of the last 2-3 years that everybody's getting very sensitive and everybody's focusing on what everyone else is doing, you know what I'm saying? Instead of us focusing on what we're doing in our communities, you know what I'm saying? Getting our shit together, trying to stop this crime, trying to build the nuclear families, motherfuckers going to school, getting the education, introducing a different quality of life. Also, technology. Motherfuckers is making millions, building apps, doing this, coding. Just, you know, I think we're distracted from what we need to be focusing on, which is cleaning up our environment. You know what I'm saying? And bringing the families back together and basically creating productive model citizens that care about, you know, growing, expanding, creating their own families, and just being fucking great people at the end of the day. So instead of focusing on what word this person's saying, if you don't like what they're doing, just don't fucking pay attention. You got other shit you can be focusing on. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to reprimand or dictate how this person does this or this person does that. You know what I mean? And start to think outside of the box. Start to think about the fucking world. You know what I'm saying? And how other people feel, how they reflect on certain things. And then put your perspective out there and see if it all makes fucking sense. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't, then you got a little fucking work to do. Go back to the drawing board, knock yourself out. But it boils down to this. Basically, we're all fucking African. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if you check people's bloodlines, where they come from, well, for the most part, you know what I mean? And we're all God's children. That's what it really boils down to. You know what I'm saying? So instead of fucking getting on this race shit all the time, or how this needs to be like this, and let's reinvent the wheel, and it's us against everybody, you can't trust the cops, you know what I'm saying? Why don't we get focused on what we need to do? Let's focus on our morality, let's focus on our families, and let's focus on getting right. That's what it boils down to. Let's get on the fucking good foot. You know what I mean? But that's all I had to say about this right here. Shout out to QueenzFlip. Shout out to everybody on the panel. God bless. I hope y'all doing well. But I just felt that I had to say my piece. But other than that, y'all be safe, be cool, be easy. Don't do anything stupid on the fucking internet or in these goddamn streets. And if you'd like to make a donation, please do so. I'm out.